Once a month, Muslim women gather inside this building for an experience unlike any other in the United States.
I came here 2 months ago, and it was so empowering to be surrounded by women of all ethnicities, all races.
God commands justice, doing good, and generosity towards relatives.
Unlike most traditional mosques where men and women are separated and men lead Friday prayers, the women's mosque is for women and led by a woman. Edina Lekovic gave the sermon on the opening day of the mosque.
When I stepped up to the plate, I felt that I was connected to the women in the audience and realizing that we were all there for the same reason, because we wanted to reconnect to our faith or take the next step in our faith, and that we wanted to try something a little different.
Something a little different because some Muslim women say they've always felt like outsiders at traditional mosques.
In the mosques that I've been growing up in, we were always kind of shuttled into a back room. We weren't allowed to be in the same space as, where the sermons were being held. What was empowering about this was I didn't even have to think about that. I didn't have to worry about the patriarchy issues that I usually have to deal with when going to a mosque.
The women's mosque does not have a dress code. The women pray in a multi-faith building that also houses Jewish and Christian events. Founder Hasna Maznavi says this was the reason she picked this place for the mosque.
Something that really inspires me are the golden ages in Islam, and this was a time when Muslims, Jews, and Christians all worked together.
But not everyone believes an all-women's mosque is necessary. Islamic scholars say while it is acceptable for women to lead other women in prayer, they question whether that should include the shortened midday Friday prayer or the sermon. The discussion about women's role in Islam is not a new one, says Brie Loskota at the University of Southern California.
The women's mosque itself is not an isolated event. There have been a lot of critiques of women's roles and the limited and narrowed nature of many of those roles in Muslim institutions for many decades. And that has come to a head, especially with sort of the Gen X millennial Muslim women.
Let us feel the suffering of women who have
Loskota says the women's mosque is a response to this critique with uniquely American characteristics.
There's a large focus on interreligious dialogue. There's a great focus on pluralism and how do you exist in a plural context. There's a great focus of diversity.
And for these women, a focus on spirituality. Elizabeth Lee for VOA News, Los Angeles.